Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and welcome back to another update on the situation surrounding Niger. Previously I called it Niger. So apparently the correct pronunciation is actually more Frenchy, is Niger. So Niger is a lot of things has happened over the past days, 5 days, just 5 days. You guys are going to stuck with me for quite a long time. So let's start off with the first thing, which is probably will interest a lot of you guys who are following the Ukraine war, which is Prigozhin. Prigozhin basically celebrated the Niger coup, and he actually offered the Wagner's help. So according to Prigozhin, he says that what happened in Niger has been brewing for years. He said the former colonizers trying to keep the people of Africa in check, and by keeping them in check, they actually filled the region with terrorists and various bandits formations, basically the militants, the jihadists, and then thus creating a massive security crisis, and thus the population suffers. And this is also why he says that there is the love for the Wagner group, because of the high efficiency of the PMC, and that the thousands of Wagner forces has able to establish order and take out all these terrorists, so-called terrorists, and preventing them from harming peaceful population of African states, or certain African states that the Wagner is operating in. So this is interesting because this actually goes against what the Russian Foreign Ministry is saying. So I think this is a very clever ploy to have a deniability of whatever the Wagner forces do, and is a very 4D chess play by Russia. So going back to Africa, and you probably would have known by now, there is major geopolitical change ever since this coup has happened, and with the threat of war by ECOWAS, Mali as well as Burkina Faso, these two guys both are coup leaders, and both have declared security guarantee for Niger, or for Niger. And basically what it means is that if anyone goes to war with Niger, they will go to war. You will see it as a declaration of war, and they will be obligated to go to war as well. And this is basically very World War One-ish kind of thing, the alliance, but basically this is also what supposedly a military alliance is supposed to be. And this is basically not a military alliance, because they did not sign a military alliance deal. What they are doing is that a declaration of war or any military intervention into Niger is also means a natural declaration of war on Mali or Burkina Faso, and this will literally simply be a security guarantee. I'm quite sure some of you guys who play certain geopolitical computer games will probably recognize this. And so Burkina Faso and Mali have a joint statement basically expressing that they have uh, uh, decided together that because they are also brotherly with Niger, that any military intervention against Niger will be tantamount to a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali. And they add that this will destabilize the entire region, of course. So basically, they say that these are illegal, illegitimate, and inhumane sanctions against the people and the authorities of Niger, basically justifying their own military coup as legitimate. So this happened, and on top of this, we have Guinea. Guinea basically did not do a security guarantee. However, they reject the sanctioning and military intervention that was proposed against Niger by the ECOWAS. Basically, the Guinea president Mamadi Doumbouya basically expressed disagreement and in a social media post saying that this is not the solution to this problem, and that this will just lead to humanitarian disasters is beyond the border of Niger. And he said that Guinea will not apply such sanction, and they urge ECOWAS to reconsider its position. And on top of that, let me see, where am I? So Algeria basically expressed similar things. Algeria, however, actually supports the so-called elected president of the Republic of Niger, Mohamed Bazoum, and they say that the Algerian government supports him, and the constitutional order should be returned via peaceful means, and to prevent their so-called Niger and the entire region from sliding into further problems of insecurity and instability. And however, they call for prudence and caution against military intervention, which currently, they feel very disappointed that it looks like a real and feasible options that is being considered. They feel that this is only going to complicate and exacerbate the current crisis, wrote in that document by Algeria. So all in all, we have basically stuff that happened that makes ECOWAS decision or declaration of planning to take certain military intervention into Niger very complicated. And but this declaration doesn't stop sanctions from happening. There's a $51 million bond that is being issued. Basically is a 30 billion CFA francs that is meant to enter Niger, has been cancelled by the regional central bank, which is controlled by ECOWAS. And on top of that, IMF has also not give the loan that is supposedly they have already approved on July the 5th. This loan is a $131.5 million loan to Niger by the IMF, and this resilience and sustainability facilities is no longer resilient and sustainable, because Niger is no longer resilient, or rather they are now very resilient and very sustainable. So there's a $26.5 million disbursement of, that means $26.5 million are supposed to be given last week, before the coup happened, has not been fully given to Niger as well. The procedure for dispersing the loan has not been completed. They did not mention exactly this money has been given or not, maybe partial, not sure. So this is IMF, and of course, if you have IMF, why not add in World Bank? So the World Bank also paused giving money to Niger, and it's kind of ridiculous if you ask me. Why is there so much money being pumped into the country, and the country is still poor? How much money do you need to buy food? Anyway, the World Bank is very alarmed, by the effort to overthrow the democratically elected government in Niger, and basically Niger has one of the largest World Bank portfolios in Africa, 4.5 billion covering priority sectors and blah blah blah, and a 600 million in direct budget support. Like I say again, how much money do you really need? I'm so confused. They are pumping so much money and they still cannot sustain themselves. Yeah, so the World Bank say that they has paused disbursement for all operations until further notice, other than private sector partnerships, that they will continue with caution. So as a result of the military coup, the World Bank no longer feels that there's a need for peace, stability, and rule of law in they feel that that they no longer need a free of poverty Niger, So because they don't agree with the leaders that is actually running Niger right now. So, and on top of that, we also have Germany suspending financial aid to Niger and halt cooperation. And the cooperation basically is, if I'm not wrong, has something to do with training of special forces. So basically, they are not going to give Niger money anymore. So that is going to be helpful because Germany is hemorrhaging money due to Ukraine war. And Netherlands is the same. They also suspended direct cooperation. So basically for Netherlands is they do with the field of development, cooperation and security. So basically so they are looking to sponsor humanitarian aid in Niger that's run through the UN and other international organizations. So which means they are no longer going to invest in Niger, put it that way. So and the sanctions also comes from Nigeria. So can you imagine? Nigeria basically cut off power supply to Niger, and this caused some rolling blackouts in Niger, and this is under the instruction of the president of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, and basically and on top of that also put the armed forces on standby. So more to this later. If you are still watching now, you should watch all the way to the end because there's something about this specific news that is very weird. Basically yeah, but because I cannot jump, once I jump you'll get lost, so no, let's not jump. And talking about economy, the uranium company that's operating within Niger continues to be operating. The employees are safe, they continue to be working. So GoviEx Uranium Inc. That has operation in the Republic of Niger continued put out a statement saying that no, everything is fine, no problem, not a problem at all, not an issue, and they are able to meet all their obligations to suppliers and employees and everything. And this, however, is not fully entirely reflected in the uranium market. So while the prices and demand is still generally under control, but the price indeed is rising. As you can see on the graph, it's not yet reached the peak of this graph, but it's pretty high already. Basically they say that the price has jumped over 25% from the lowest point this year, and basically the uranium price is now increasing slowly, and it looks like the supply is going to be challenged because Niger holds a huge amount of the production, and but tentatively they say they view that the price is likely to go up to $15, and so this push is likely will happen if they pass the resistance point of $13.66. But I don't invest in uranium, so whatever. And on the humanitarian side, because of this brewing war that's going to happen in Niger, or maybe will happen, maybe will not, the French decided to evacuate everyone. And so that is a foreshadowing of what's to come. It doesn't matter what the Africans countries think, the Europeans are running. So the French military transport planes has arrived, and basically from the 1st of August they started to transport. The French are the ones transporting most of it, and only the Italians are the only other one that sent their own transport plane. The French basically transported most of the people. They basically saved up to 1,079 people out of Niger, and this includes at least 350 French, and along with other people from Niger, Portugal, Belgium, Ethiopia, Lebanon, Germany, Canada, India, Austria, United States. In fact, there's also Japanese, which is not in this particular article, because this later article that talk about the finalization of the end of all these evacuations actually includes all the many other nationalities. So the Italians also evacuated. They evacuated 87 people, including 21 US citizens, and which is apparently part of a evangelical Christian group from Texas. And so yeah. So and then there's also some other people like Bulgarians, Austrians, Britain, Hungary, Nigeria, Senegal, Nigeria. I have no idea why Nigeria have to go all the way to Italy, but yes, they went there. Yeah, and yeah, basically that's that. So after all these positive statements coming from Mali and Burkina Faso, and to a certain extent Algeria, even a little bit of seemingly positive words. The Niger military junta basically decided to reopen the land and air border with at least 5 countries: Mali, Burkina Faso, Algeria, Libya, and Chad. What's interesting is what we have statements from Mali, Burkina Faso, and Algeria, and we know that Chad has actually visited Niger to try to be a chat. Libya is the interesting one. I didn't seem to find any information about Libya. There is some things on Twitter, but I'm not sure what's the conclusion, what is the situation for Libya. And but Libya is pro-Russia, so maybe something to do with that. So anyway, the border crossings are open in 5 different countries, and basically all around the upper half of the country, basically there's like a almost fully encircled. They have a operational encirclement of freedom of traveling. Burkina Faso, Mali, Algeria, Libya, Chad, all around Niger. So very interesting situation over here. And let me find. So where am I now? Evacuated, Italy evacuated. Okay, so and then we go back to US. After this they decided to suspend their counter-terrorism training in Niger following the coup. So but they're not leaving just yet. They are still there. They just that they feel like under this situation they have to suspend it. And there's interesting information about the United States is that United States has not condemned Niger situation as a coup. They have not officially said that this is a coup, or because once they actually declare officially that this is a military coup and this government is illegal, then they will have to totally 100% suspend everything with this country. So tentatively they still want to keep their base in the country, so they have not fully 100% condemned this coup just yet, although Biden did say that no, come on man. And moving on to not just that, so the French and the US forces all remains within the country. The United States have around 1,000 troops, and the French have around 1,500 troops, and basically they are all going to stay in the country. Both countries have not indicated anything about leaving Niger just yet, and they both operate out of similar military bases. So these 2,500 is to watch. And interestingly, Germany also have troops in Niger. And while they encourage their own citizens to evacuate, they did not evacuate their 100 troops. This 100 troops is largely connected to UN missions in Mali, but they are in Niger. So the defense minister say that there's nothing to be worried about. They are in close contact with the Nigerian military, and everywhere they go, the Nigerian military is actually accompanying them. So the Boris Pistorius, the defense minister of Germany, feels it's really safe for the German soldiers. However, no, US and UK, especially the US, initially they didn't want to do any evacuation of the embassy. Start to chicken out. After just a day or two, they decided to order partial evacuation of the embassy in Niger. So, but the embassy is going to be open. It's only going to be a reduction of manpower. They will be protected by the Marines. So, things are safe. The British embassy also decided to reduce the number of staffing, because citing the security situation within Niger not very safe. So this is the situation for the embassies between US and UK. Largely, these two countries are known. They are not really exactly part of this entire saga. They are just eating popcorns. So, and then we have this very interesting situation appearing over at Mali. So the Niger officers, so there is this delegation led by Salifo Modi, one of these Niger's officers that seized power in the military coup, has arrived at Mali. And this is a large Nigerian military delegation, and they basically met the Assimi Goïta of the basically the transitional president for Mali, and they posted the picture on Facebook, and apparently this spawns a lot of conspiracy about the real purpose of the trip. So, according to just one journalist, so-called analyst, in Mali, if I'm not wrong, he basically said something like, the purpose is actually to get Mali to help contact the Wagner, and get Wagner into Niger, and that's it. Just this one person's, this entire story has went viral. So there's no way to verify that this is true or not. Basically, this is just his own speculation, and somehow this is now being spread all around the world as a fact. So now the story becomes Niger has contacted Wagner to tell them to operate in Niger, and yeah, that is what it is now. And we have a lot of rumors now on Twitter, alleged that the Wagner forces or Wagner representative has arrived in Niger. Right now, they have transport planes from Russia allegedly have arrived at Niamey. So I have no idea how true is this thing, because it could be all just a hype for clickbait, and I cannot find a real proper source that I can trust. Wagner have no so far I haven't seen them say anything about this just yet. Operational secrecy perhaps. So yeah, so I think take a pinch of salt. I know it's very exciting for those people who are pro-Russia or no pro-Wagner or anti-West, but it's a good idea to just hold back this horse. Don't run so fast, later you trip and fall. And so the reaction, the ECOWAS is really serious about this entire thing. Despite Mali and Burkina Faso making the threat, ECOWAS defense chiefs have decided to meet, and in this meeting, they is due to the fact that the leaders of ECOWAS have said that military intervention might be a last resort. It's a choice, and as such, the military chiefs have to meet in order to fulfill this obligation of doing a military intervention in the last resort. So Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau is absent from the meeting. So clearly, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso is not going to be there. Guinea have already said that they will not support military intervention, so they did not arrive. So Guinea-Bissau somehow also didn't arrive. So we kind of can see, who are the neutral parties and who are the belligerents on the Niger side. So, however, everyone else is there. Nigeria, Benin, Ghana, Togo, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Gambia, Cote d'Ivoire. I think that's how you pronounce that. And basically, Ivory Coast, Cape Verde, and Senegal. So the commission said that they will do everything to ensure that the hostage situation in Niger is reversed. Talking about hostage situation, that president is anything but a hostage, because um, he is basically very free to write anything he wants. He basically has written even a opinion piece on a newspaper article warning about if the coup is successful, you have devastating consequences for the country, the region, and the world. And talking about no shared values. No, again, I have no idea what the shared values are, but he said that it includes democratic pluralism and the respect for the rule of law. So blah blah, against poverty and terrorism, blah blah. Then say that the Nigerian people will not forget your support. Basically talking to the Americans of this pivotal moment in their history. Uh, but I feel that Zelensky will not be happy about this, because Ukrainians need the support. You cannot steal the support from Ukraine. Ukraine need to fight the literal, the evil, right? The Russians. So yeah, then of course, talking about the Russians, he also have to warn about the Russians. So if it's not scary until you mention the Russians. So the Mr. Bazoum warns about Wagner operating in this region, and they might actually have links to these coup leaders, and they say that this entire Sahel region will fall into the Russian influence via the Wagner group, whom the brutal terrorism, so-called brutal terrorism, has been in full display in Ukraine. So basically, he's putting himself clearly as a NAFO. He's a pro-Ukrainian guy. So not very balanced, if you ask me, as a leader of a country. And this kind of words basically is telling Russia to smack him. So not very smart, if you ask me, not very smart. So on top of the defense minister meeting, the leader of the ECOWAS, basically Bola Tinubu, sent a three-man. So he sent the delegation to the defense minister. He sent a three-man. Sorry, I got confused. He sent a three-man delegation to Niger to basically meet with the coup leaders and to try to do one final peace talk, as an emergency meeting of sorts. And he, according to their press release, they sent the former Nigerian head of state, the General Abdul Salami Abu Bakr, and then they also sent Sultan of Sokoto, Al Haji Muhammad Saad Abu Bakr III, and the president of the ECOWAS Commission, His Excellency Orma Alil Toure. So basically, three seemingly very big shot guys to be sent, and then this is the photo of them meeting. In case you cannot see, you still will not be able to see. Basically, yeah. So yeah, it's basically the same size. So yeah, no point. So yeah, basically they met, and this meeting went very 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 well, like super well to the point where Niger cut ties with Nigeria. So it went too well. So before I go back to this, Nigeria at the same time also sent delegation. This guy is the president of Nigeria, sent the special delegation to Libya and Algeria to talk, to get them to see the truth, see it through their eyes, and to ensure conclusive and amicable resolution to the situation in Niger, and basically ask them to play ball, to put it that way. So as I mentioned, by the 4th of August, things have come out and it went to hell. The junta basically cut off ties after the failed peace talk, and somehow so it makes sense they severed the ties with Nigeria, because Nigeria is basically the head of the ECOWAS right now, and France is neo-colonizer, and somehow the United States was like, what the hell, what is it something to do with me, that kind of thing. So, and then Togo which is like a weird one. It's like Togo, it's like Nigeria, yes, France, yes, United States, of course, the evil Americans, and then Togo, like what? Like Togo, they just severed ties with Togo, so they basically sacked the ambassador to Togo, and that's it. I have no idea. I tried to search why is Togo so special, that it got singled out. I'm not sure. Maybe they just don't like the ambassador that was sent to Togo. I'm not sure. Somehow, this happened. And on top of that, Niger also suspended the France24 and RFI, both the French media in Niger. So basically, they say that the channels are now not accessible within Niger because of the instructions from the military authorities. So the French Foreign Affairs is not happy. The French government is not happy. They say in their press release, they say that this measure taken against the press is a context of authoritarian repression led by the authors of the attempted coup, and so they ban RT from Europe because they have authoritarian repressive tendencies also in Europe. So yeah, so they should know it very well, right? Why France24 and RFI got suspended. And because they suspended all this evil French propaganda, they can now lift the curfew somehow. So the coup leaders now lifted the curfew, and basically, yeah, that's it. People are now free to travel at all times, I guess. So this is what I mentioned just now. Somehow he was allegedly, so-called imprisoned, pulled down, jailed. He's a hostage. This hostage have access to internet, can interview, can talk to foreign guests, dignitaries, like like he got just as much freedom as Aung San Suu Kyi, probably more, because Aung San Suu Kyi now is in prison. The old Aung San Suu Kyi that wants the Nobel Prize for sitting at home. So yeah, and saying things. So now he's trying to win his Nobel Prize too. He's now saying things. So you'll be like, wow, he's the hero. So yeah, basically he just say that he wants Americans to go to war and start World War III in Africa. And of course this cannot be allowed, right? So Niger warns of preemptive strike against aggression towards Niger. So in a statement by Amadou Abdramane, basically the spokesman of the National Council for Safeguarding of the Country, basically Junta, the Niger Junta, basically says that on state TV, while he announced the recalling of the ambassador in Paris, Abuja, Lomé, and Washington, basically the countries that they terminated the contact. He warned that any aggression and attempted aggression against Niger will see an immediate unannounced, that's a key, immediate unannounced response from the Niger Defense and Security Forces on one of members. So basically this is a warning not to France, not to United States, but it's a warning towards ECOWAS. And they say that this is basically, once they see an attempted aggression, or they see some kind of aggression, they will attack unannounced, preemptive strike against Togo. Then Togo is like, why me? Why? Okay, so maybe that's why they suspended Togo, because they want to use Togo as an example. No, they cannot fight their own friends, their own people. Niger and Nigeria is just like Ukraine and Russia, which will end up in major war, I guess. The new century, the new millennium is just about brotherly, killing each other, brotherly killings. So they probably attack one of the countries. It's a threat. Basically, Niger is now threatening, and so this came exception of suspended friendly countries. So basically, they say that this preemptive strike will not hit Guinea, Mali, or Burkina Faso. Yeah, of course, Burkina Faso will not be hit as well, because the leader now is so handsome. Apparently I read that all the girls are melting, getting really really hot, when they see him on TV. So, and then came this very interesting information. It's something like a leak, but not too sure. So in Nigerian media, basically this is politicsnigeria.com, and it has been replicated by other media as well. A participating senator in the Nigerian Senate has disclosed that there is actually a consensus between the senators during their meeting. They have approved the resolution to condemn the coup, the Niger coup, and they also expressed appreciation of the ECOWAS leaders of wanting to do the greater good for Niger. However, they say that military action is not allowed. So almost all senators spoke and totally ruled out military options because of the many factors of the harmonious relationship between Nigeria and Niger. Basically, they are the same people, so which is why they have the same name. And the senators urged the president Tinubu, basically also the leader of ECOWAS, to intensify negotiation with the coup leaders by again sending a high-powered delegation to Niamey, and they suggest other people to go, and as special envoys to seek dialogues and diplomatic solution. They are opposed to military action and pointed that their military is ill-equipped, highly ill-equipped to fight any wars. They say that they have a fragile peace, and Niger also is the highest arms market in Africa. I'm not sure if this is the case, but it sounds like Niger is full of weapons. Basically, they are Afghanistan. So they are the Afghanistan of Africa right now, and going to war with them is basically not a good idea. And yeah, I'm not sure what to make of it, but it does seems like this has caused internal political problems within Nigeria, because the president is hell-bent on finally clicking that declare war button. Like we play all these geopolitical games on our computers. We can't, we just looking for war and looking for a reason to use our military, right? I think he's having this episode, and the Senate is like, no, this is not a computer game. They're trying to pull him back. And Chad basically enter the chat and chattingly say that they will not intervene in the coup of Niger. The defense minister basically said that Chad is out of the game. No, don't count us in. So Chad is also declared neutrality, basically, along basically what Guinea and Algeria have done. We do not know what's Libya's position right now. Maybe this is an opportunity to make a lot of money, through Wagner, or maybe through the military of Niger to transport weapons sell weapons to Niger. So who knows? And so yeah, that's what happened. And just to highlight how complicated this area is, and how such a war, if happens, will never end. Mali troops got ambushed by jihadists in Menaka. So Menaka is here. This is a little village town of Menaka, and there's this major highway leading all the way to Niger. And so the Malian forces were escorting a convoy towards Niger, and they got ambushed by jihadists. Maybe it's jihadists, maybe it's not. No, I'm just saying. And they say that troops are defended themselves, and basically there's a heavy toll on both sides. Both sides have multiple deaths, and this just shows how even Mali don't have real control over their land. And now we are talking about war in this highly volatile and super sparse region, where any war will likely to have no end. And even if there's end, it's fake end. It'll be like Afghanistan, but on a much more grander scale. So this is the entire situation over at Niger and all the things that's surrounding it, all the saga and everything that you should know. It will let you, basically this is everything, like literally this is everything. So so if you reach this point, you're still watching, congratulations, you're now fully up to date about situation in Niger and everything surrounding it. And I will try to cover this more frequently. The past week has not been very friendly to my time, so I'm unable to cover more about this. And so the situation is very bad, to be honest. And the ECOWAS 7 days deadline is coming up, because it has been 6 days already since the last report that I've provided to you before this video. So that was on the 31st of July, 1st of August thingy, and today is 6th of August as per this recording. So we are talking about 1 to 2 days time, and the deadline will be up, and ECOWAS will have to go to war, or they will look like stupid people that talks too much or say things without thinking. And then Burkina Faso and Mali will basically see themselves going to war for nothing, in the sense, but who knows, because we have the Nigerian Senate have already rejected using the military. I'm not sure if the president can override the Senate, or just send the military to war, without Senate's approval. I'm not sure if he have the guts or could do that. And if that happens, Mali and Burkina Faso will go to war, and I'm not sure what is the rest of the countries are going to do. Benin, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Libya, Sierra Leone, Senegal, all these countries, they have not been terminated by Niger's foreign affairs team. Only Togo. Perhaps we are only seeing Togo and Nigeria have the guts to go to war. Maybe. I'm not sure. Would the rest wants to go to war? That would really mess up the entire region, like for real. And I'm not sure if they have the guts to really do it. And France, in my opinion, have no choice. This is a serious situation for France. Geopolitically, it feels like they must go into Niger and basically take control of the country, or they're going to suffer severely geopolitically, and they're going to have a lot of problems with their energy, because they have already over invested in nuclear, over dependent on nuclear power. And with this Ukraine war, they really don't have much options, and even the nuclear power plants are failing. If you are following my reports months ago, even they have problems with their nuclear power plants. So yeah, a lot of problem with France. I'm not sure if it's the president's fault. I'm not sure if Macron actually is doing a bad job, or is it everything is just against him. There's nothing he can do about it. Anyone who sits in his position will face the same problem. I have no idea. So the French, the great French Empire is now on the edge of becoming Belgium. So I'm not sure what. Yeah, but another thing I want to highlight also is that the having militants running around, overthrowing of governments is a very American thing. I'm not sure if all these overthrowing of all these countries, all these military coup, coincidentally they are all French speakers. So all the French speakers have military coups, all these French speaking African countries. And then at the same time, this is the Sahel, the Wagner start to take over, but at the same time there's all the terrorist group that's running around, which the Wagner go around killing. I wonder if it's the Americans have a big hand in all these things, trying to continue their century long endeavor to totally wipe out the European powers. They did that to the British, so the British are now powerless. They become basically almost like a puppet state to the Americans, and they have just did it to Germany through the Ukraine war. So Germany has been the most powerful country in the European Union, perhaps even more powerful than the UK, than the United Kingdoms. Their control of the European Union, the dominance of the economy, basically makes them the conqueror of, or the controller, or the de facto leader of the entire of Europe. And this has totally went down the drain due to the Ukraine war. And with the pipeline getting destroyed and stopped, Germany's economy is not going to be the same as before. And the only strong one now left is France, the only superpower left. And this might be that nail to the coffin for French power, and perhaps that is all Americans doing. And the Russians are just taking advantage of the situation by sending the Wagner, not to waste a good crisis, perhaps. And in the end, this might just yet be another geopolitical war, or just another proxy war between Russia and United States. And France is just the roadside queue, they are the rabbit that was crossing the road, and then like these two little tanks just drive past and squash it. I don't know. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you reach this point, you're epic. 46 minutes is a really, really, really long report, but it's a really, really important situation, because this could really become a much, much bigger war than Ukraine. As much as you think Ukraine war is big, Ukraine war is not as big as the entire of the Southern Sahara Desert. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.